My father-in-law is 73. Last spring, he dropped a coffee-stained envelope on my workbench with $8,000 in cash inside and said, "Find me something that won't strand me on the highway and won't rob me at the repair shop." I've been a mechanic for 24 years, and that one sentence is the whole game right there. Because the cars dealerships push at older buyers are almost never the cars I'd put my own parents in. The good ones don't get advertised. They get quietly passed between families who know. So today, I'm handing you the exact list I gave him. 5 cars under $8,000 that I'd recommend to any senior without a second of hesitation. Number 1 is the one I bought him. Let's get into it. Before we start, one thing matters more for older drivers than horsepower or badges: getting in and out without wrecking your knees, seeing clearly out of every window, and controls you can actually use without a manual. Every car on this list was picked with that in mind. These are not just reliable, they are reliable and kind to a body that's been around the block a few times. Number 5, Honda CR-V. I'm starting here because this is the car I recommend to seniors who tell me I can't fold myself into a sedan anymore. The third generation CR-V, built from 2007 to 2011, sits at the perfect height. You don't drop down into it, and you don't climb up into it. You slide across, the way you'd sit into a kitchen chair. For anyone with a bad hip, a replaced knee, or a back that complains in the morning, that seat height is worth more than any feature on the window sticker. A woman came into my shop 2 years ago, mid-60s, recently widowed, driving a sedan her late husband had bought. She told me she was scared to drive it because she couldn't see over the hood well, and getting out in the grocery lot left her sore. I put her in a 2010 CR-V with 96,000 miles. She called me a week later, almost in disbelief. Why did nobody tell me cars could be this easy to live with? Here's the mechanical truth nobody mentions. That CR-V uses the KT4 engine, a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder with a timing chain, not a belt. That distinction matters, because a timing belt is a $700 to $1,000 service every 100,000 miles, and a chain is designed to last the life of the engine if you change the oil. The K24 is one of the most proven 4-cylinders Honda ever built. It is routinely a 200,000-plus mile motor, and it's paired with a traditional 5-speed automatic, no continuously variable transmission to whine and slip, no dual-clutch gamble. Just a simple, durable gearbox that's been doing its job for 15 years. Now let me be honest, because I always am. This generation has one annoying quirk. The door lock actuators can get cranky and relock on their own. It's not dangerous and it's not expensive, usually a couple $100 per door if you choose to fix it. The 2011 model specifically saw a bump in oil consumption complaints. So if you find a 2011, just check the oil level on the dipstick before you buy and watch it after. My sweet spot in this range is 2008 to 2010. Under $8,000 gets you a clean one with average miles all day long. Inspection checklist. When you go look at one, first, test every door lock from the key fob 3 or 4 times. If they bounce back open, negotiate. Second, pull the dipstick. Oil should be on the full mark and amber, not black and low. Third, fold and unfold the rear seats, because seniors buy these for cargo flexibility, and a stiff seat track tells you the car lived a hard life. Fourth, turn the wheel full lock in a parking lot and creep forward. Any grinding from the all-wheel drive system means walk away. Who's this for? Anyone who values getting in and out over everything else and wants a tall view of the road. Who should skip it? If you only ever drive 2 miles to church and back, you're overbuying. A simpler sedan will do. But for an active senior who still hauls grandkids and garden mulch, the CR-V is a no-brainer. And it's only number 5, which should tell you how good this list gets. Number 4, Buick Lucerne. If the CR-V is about getting in easily, the Lucerne is about what happens once you're seated. Buick built this car from 2006 to 2011 specifically for buyers who remembered when American cars floated down the road like a sofa on wheels. They even branded the engineering quiet tuning with extra insulation, laminated glass, and a deliberately soft suspension. You close the door and the outside world just goes quiet. For long highway drives, doctor's appointments 2 towns over, or anyone sensitive to road noise and harsh rides, nothing else on this list is this serene. Here's the part that'll surprise you. People assume an old Buick is a money pit. It absolutely does not have to be if you buy the right engine. The Lucerne came 2 ways, a V6 and a 4.6-liter Northstar 5.8. I'm going to save you thousands of dollars right now. Avoid the Northstar. It's a strong engine when healthy, but it's famous for oil leaks and needing expensive resealing work around 120,000 miles. Buy the V6, either the 3.8-liter or the later 3.9-liter, and you get a genuinely durable, dead, simple motor that mechanics have been keeping alive for decades. These V6s regularly cross 200,000 miles. They're cheap to fix because half the cars in any junkyard share their parts. A retired school teacher brought me a 2010 Lucerne with the 3.9 V6 last year, 71,000 miles, that her brother-in-law swore was about to need a transmission. I drove it, scanned it, dropped the pan, checked the fluid. There was nothing wrong with it. Nothing. I changed the transmission fluid as preventive care, $180, and sent her on her way. That's the whole story. That's the Lucerne when you buy the V6. One real weak point to know about is the rear seat fuse box. On some of these, the fuel pump relay terminals overheat and can cause a no start. It's a known issue with a known fix, and a good independent shop handles it for a few $100s. Ask if it's been addressed. The best years are 2010 and 2011. By then, Buick had settled the build quality and most gremlins were gone. Inspection checklist. First, confirm it's a V6, not the Northstar 5.8. Look at the badge and check the VIN. Second, have someone inspect that rear fuse box for heat discoloration. Third, change the transmission fluid the day you buy it if there's no record of it. The 4-speed automatic lasts a long time, but only if the fluid has been maintained. Fourth, sit in it for 10 minutes. These seats are like recliners, and if they feel saggy or the lumbar is dead, the car was used hard. Under $8,000 buys a beautiful low-mileage Lucerne because the market still underrates them. This is old-school American comfort that won't bankrupt you, but the next car is where reliability stops being a hope and becomes a near guarantee. Number 3, Toyota Camry. You knew it was coming. The Camry earns its reputation, and for a senior buyer, it checks every box. Simple controls, excellent outward visibility, a comfortable ride, doors that open wide, and a resale value so strong you will get your money back when it is time to stop driving. But there is a right way and a wrong way to buy a used Camry, and most people get it backwards. Here is the inside knowledge. The 2007 to 2009 4-cylinder Camry with the 2AZFE engine has a well-documented OIL consumption problem. The piston rings were prone to carbon buildup, and some of these cars burn a quart of oil every 1,200 miles. Toyota issued a service bulletin and eventually extended warranties for it, but that coverage is long expired now. So if a salesman points you at a cheap 2008 four-cylinder, you need to be careful. There are two clean ways around it. Option 1, buy the V6. The 3.5-liter 2GR FE is one of the best engines Toyota has ever produced. A timing chain with no belt to replace, and it is the same engine family that powers the Lexus ES350. I have personally seen these go past 300,000 miles. Option 2, buy a 2010 or 2011, because that is when Toyota swapped in the updated 2.5-liter four-cylinder that does not have the oil-burning issue. Either path gets you a bulletproof Camry. The trap is only the early four-cylinder. I had a gentleman in his late 70s argue with me about this. He had found a 2008 four-cylinder for $5,500 and wanted my blessing. I pulled the dipstick in the parking lot and it was bone dry. The seller had topped it off just enough to fool a quick glance. I showed him the carbon on the oil cap. He went home, found a 2011 four-cylinder for $7,200 instead, and 2 years later, it has not cost him a dime beyond oil and one set of brake pads. Inspection checklist. First, identify the engine and year, V6 anytime or four-cylinder only in 2010 to 2011. Second, on any four-cylinder, check the oil level and the oil cap for sludge. Low and dirty means run. Third, on the V6, ask whether the spark plugs and water pump have been serviced around 100,000 miles. Fourth, test every power window and the trunk release. Small electrical stuff is cheap, but tells you how the car was cared for. A correctly chosen Camry in this price range will outlast almost anything a dealer tries to sell you for double. It is not exciting. It is not supposed to be. It is supposed to start every single morning for the next decade, and it will. Now, the next two cars are the ones I get most passionate about because they were practically designed for older drivers, and almost nobody talks about them anymore. If this kind of straight talk is helping you, take 1 second and subscribe. I have got more videos coming on the exact cars I steer my own family toward, and the ones I would never let them buy. It genuinely helps me keep making these. Number 2, Mercury Grand Marquis and the Ford Crown Victoria. These are twins, same Panther platform, same engine, same bones, so I am counting them as one. And I will say it plainly, if I could design a car specifically for a senior, it would look an awful lot like this. Tall, wide-opening doors, a seat at the perfect height so you slide in and out instead of dropping and climbing, a flat, simple dashboard with big buttons you can read, a ride so soft and quiet it feels like the road was paved just for you, and a trunk so enormous you could fit a month of groceries and a walker with room to spare. This is the car that an entire generation of grandparents loved, and they loved it for reasons that still hold up. Underneath is the 4.6-liter V8 paired with a 4R 70W automatic transmission, and this combination is genuinely one of the most durable powertrains the American auto industry ever built. This is body-on-frame construction, the same tough design used for decades by police departments and taxi fleets that beat these cars senseless for 300,000 miles. That is not a forum legend. I have personally worked on Panther cars north of 250,000 miles still running their original engine and transmission. There is no turbo to fail, no timing belt, no complicated electronics to glitch. It is mechanical honesty in a world that forgot how to build it. A man brought his late father's 2006 Grand Marquis into my shop, planning to sell it, asking what it needed first. It had 118,000 miles. I went over every inch: suspension, brakes, fluids, frame. It needed an oil change and 2 rear tires. That was it. He drove it home and decided to keep it. That happens with these constantly. A couple of honest warnings. Stick to 2003 and newer models, because the earlier cars had a plastic intake manifold crossover that could crack, and by 2003 most of that was sorted. Some models have a rear air ride suspension that gets expensive when it ages, but a shop can convert it to standard coil springs affordably, and many already have. And the blend door actuator behind the dash can fail and cause heating quirks, a known fixable item. Inspection checklist. First, bounce each corner of the car. If the rear sits low or you hear a compressor running constantly, it has the air suspension and you will want it converted. Second, watch the temperature gauge on a test drive and check for a coolant smell, which can hint at that early intake issue. Third, run the heat and air conditioning through every setting to catch a tired blend door actuator. Fourth, look underneath at the frame for serious rust if you are in a salt state. This is body on frame, so the frame is the car. The catch with these is simply that they don't make them anymore. The last one rolled off the line in 2011, so the clean, low-mileage examples are getting scarce. But they're still out there, often owned by exactly the kind of careful older driver who garaged it and serviced it on time, and they're well under $8,000. If you want maximum comfort, maximum durability, and the easiest entry and exit of anything on this list, this is your car. Which brings me to number 1, the single car I'd put my own parents in over everything else. Number 1, Toyota Avalon. This is the car I bought my father-in-law, and here's why it tops the list. The Avalon is what happens when you take a Lexus, remove the badge, and cut the price in half. It rides like a luxury car because mechanically it nearly is one. The same 3.5-liter 2GR FE V6 that lives under the Avalon's hood is the same engine family powering the Lexus ES 350 and RX 350. Same block, same legendary reliability, same timing chain that lasts the life of the car. You are buying Lexus engineering at Buick money, and almost nobody realizes it. For a senior, the Avalon hits every single note at once. The doors open wide and the seat height is just right. No dropping, no climbing. The cabin is whisper quiet and the ride is plush and soft over bumps. The back seat is genuinely limousine roomy for grandkids or carpooling friends to lunch. The trunk is cavernous. The controls are large, logical, and easy on aging eyes. And underneath all that comfort is a drivetrain that simply refuses to die. The V6 paired with a smooth 6-speed automatic is one of the most trouble-free combinations Toyota has ever offered. When my father-in-law first saw it, he scoffed. "That's an old man's car." I said, "You're 73. You are the customer they built it for." I found him a 2010 Avalon with 88,000 miles for $7,600. That was over a year ago. He's put 14,000 trouble-free miles on it. His total repair spending so far? 1 air filter and an oil change. He calls it the best money he's ever spent. And he's owned a lot of cars. A few things to verify because no car is perfect. Early models had a recall on a rubber VVTi oil line that Toyota replaced with a metal one for free, so make sure that has been done by checking the VIN. This is critical. Some higher mileage examples can develop a slight oil appetite, So check the oil level. Older Avalons can need ignition coils if you feel a misfire-style stumble, which is an inexpensive fix. A couple of model years had minor dashboard cracking or paint peeling in hot climates, which is cosmetic. My favorite years are 2010 to 2012, the most refined version of this generation, with the fewest gremlins. Inspection checklist. First, run the VIN to confirm that the VVTi oil line recall was completed. This is non-negotiable. Second, check the oil level and color on the dipstick. Third, take it on the highway and accelerate firmly from 45 to 70. It should pull smoothly and silently with zero hesitation or shudder. Fourth, and this is the PRO move, look for one that was owned by an older couple who garaged it. An Avalon previously owned by a careful senior is about the best used car situation that exists on Earth. They baby these cars, and it shows in every panel. Under $8,000 gets you a clean, well-kept Avalon with comfortable miles, and you will not find a better blend of luxury, reliability, and ease of ownership at this price. Period. If I had to hand one set of keys to someone I love and never worry about them again, it's these cars. So there's the list. The Honda CR-V for easy entry and a tall seat. The Buick Lucerne for old-school, floating comfort. Buy the V6, not the V8. The Toyota Camry for unkillable reliability. V6 or a 2010 and up 4-cylinder. The Mercury Grand Marquis and Crown Victoria twins for the easiest in and out and a truck-tough drivetrain. And the Toyota Avalon, the secret Lexus, sits right at the top. Every one of these is under $8,000. Every one of these is something I would put my own family in. The next time someone tries to sell you or your parents a flashy crossover with a turbo and a touchscreen that will cost a fortune to fix, you will know there is a smarter, kinder, cheaper way. If this helped, hit subscribe. I will keep telling you the truth, the dealerships will not. Take care of your car, and it will take care of you. I will see you in the next one.